What is going on YouTube? This is HeirofCarthage doing a live commentary. You might be saying, Air, how's this live? You don't have any units. It's because I'm not playing in this match. This is actually Dave the Brave, or no, sorry, Dario TW from CA. So this is Dario TW. He's playing as the Takeda. And then over here we have Tim M from CA as well. And it looks like he's playing as the Tosa. So this is going to be a mixed type of fight. So it's going to be Rise of Samurai, Fall of the Samurai and Shogun 2 mix. So let's take a look at the armies as best I can before the match starts. Dario's got, let's see, looks like a sword core here of Katana Samurai with no upgrades. Looks like 5 of them at least. I see an Odachi Samurai on that side. 2 Bow Warrior Monks. Right behind them, 2 Yari-Ashigaru. Another Yari-Ashigaru out here. He's brought a Standard General. Takeda Katana Cav, 2 Takeda Katana Cav, and a Great Guard. Let's take a look at Tim M, who's playing as the Tosa. This is an Imperial clan from the Fall of the Samurai. He's got 3 Infantry de Marine in the back. It looks like 2 Yari-Kachi, 2 Tosa Riflemen, a General's Hatamoto, which is not the modern general. It's kind of like a melee type avatar that's in the Fall of the Samurai. Looks like he's moved his Yari, well, he's got 4 Yari-Kachi. And then, looks like a Revolver Cav, 2 Revolver Cav hidden in the woods. And then he's got over here 2 Yari-Ki hidden in the woods. Their opponents over here is Dave the Brave, and, oh, I'm going to say his name wrong. I wonder if I can see all the players in here, player list. Yeah, here's the player list, Dave the Brave and Victor Gergert. I'm not familiar with either of these players. So this ought to be fun. Some of my fellow casters that were familiar with Dave the Brave, at least, and I'm not sure if they knew Victor or not. So yeah, I have no idea what to expect. I've never seen either CA player play, and I've never seen either one of these players play. Over here immediately I see 2 Armstrong guns, and these are going to belong to Victor. And it looks like Victor has some Spear Levy, Katana Kachi, Shogatai, Spear Levy. Looks like he's got quite a few melee troops, and then just a couple of White Tiger Force rifles. Here's some Cav running out quickly from Dave the Brave. This is going to be 3 Yari Cav. He's playing as the Uesegi, so he's playing as a classic faction. He's using the old modular type setup here where he's got Yari-Ashigaru right behind Matchlocks. Looks like that's a Matchlock Samurai. Another Matchlock Samurai. He's got some units coming out of the woods over here. Great Guard, 2 Great Guard, and a Light Cav. Great Guard are actually very good cavalry for the price in Classic Battle. Very good. Let's see, Yari Samurai, Nodachi, Yari-Ashigaru, Nodachi. He's got some Uesegi Warrior Monks. So it looks like a little bit of mix, quite a few spears. Let's see how this match goes. So as far as firepower goes, Tim has some massive firepower that he ought to be using. He's taking it to the flank, but let's see what happens. His Tosa Riflemen ought to be far superior to anything that Dave the Brave can throw at him from up front, so we'll see how this works out. Yeah, those Tosa Riflemen are going to absolutely shred these Yari-Ashigaru. Not sure what this move is all about from Dave the Brave, maybe just a distraction. I actually would recommend that he not melee rush right here. But it looks like that's what's going to happen. Of course, melee rushing into Infantry de Marine may not be a good idea either. I'm not really sure how Dave is going to answer this because he's got a lot of Yari-Kachi, and his cavalry and infantry are going to get pretty shot up trying to pull this off. However, it looks like the non-CA team is so far capturing both key buildings, and that could sway things. We'll see how it turns out. These Infantry de Marine taking some shots at this Yari Cav, or actually they took a shot at an infantry unit, and now they're going to get just pummeled head on. I'm not sure if a Yari Cav will completely kill that unit, especially with supporting spears. The Infantry de Marine's a little tougher. That's definitely going to be a painful charge. Otherwise, Dave the Brave is getting pushed back really hard. And we got some teamwork going on here as a ton of cavalry. Or no, sorry, this is all Yari-Ashigaru. Well, okay, no, wait. This isn't cavalry. This is a bunch of units from Dario, who's on the CA team. And it looks like they're going to collapse on Dave the Brave's flank because Victor was too far away to support. So they are doing a That's basically a team-up activity, and you're going to see Victor's going to have to try and rush over here. Because he's got cannons, he was probably slow to move his troops. Looks like he has a few rifle troops that I didn't see before. 3 White Tiger Force, nothing too substantial. It's his melee component that's going to be stronger. Dave the Brave is completely dead, though, at this point. Yeah, he got annihilated by the firepower coming from this player here. If you're going to be playing on rice fields against the Fall of the Samurai Army, you need to bring some bows, because they will just too easily be able to cover their flanks and stuff. Wow. Got a huge blob going on right here, but I'm assuming that with Dave the Brave having gotten beat out that quickly, that it's going to be relatively easy for Tim to come over here and support Dario in this fight. There's a little bit of cav coming around. We got 3 units of saber cav here. Saber cav's very slow, kind of similar to katana cav without the armor, but they're charging into spears right here, so that is going to be a short end to those saber cav. Plus, there's support fire being poured in from these Tosa riflemen back here. Of course, then again, this Yari here is wavering.
Is running from the battlefield, sir.
Okay, the saber cav are going to pull out. They got a melee blob going on here. Let's see. So there's some bows matched up against Shogutai and spear levy. There's some Nodachis on the other side. Kind of thinking the Shogutai will be able to pull this one out because they're going to be very powerful. Plus, there's a katana kachi there. So I would say that Dario is in trouble right here. But again, because Dave the Brave has been killed, I think this is going to be a relatively easy finish. So these Tosa riflemen here shooting the saber cav. Looks like Victor hasn't taken care of his saber cav. Let's see. Over here, Dario has got these White Tiger Force pinned down with Katana Samurai and Nodachi, and he's even got more Nodachis back here. So that's going to be an easy win. Those Katana Kachi there will be a little bit tougher, but I do think he'll win this melee fight. Over in this sector, those Shogutai are still going strong. Quite a few kills, but they are starting to get beat up. See, they're up against Nodachi still. And some Takeda cavalry has charged in. So Dave the Brave must have gotten away with a couple, or no, Dario was the Takeda, my bad, sorry. Dave the Brave is gone. I don't know why I keep thinking that he's in this fight. So yeah, this is going to start to turn into a surrounding maneuver. Looks like,
a unit is running from the battlefield,
that
sir.
saber cav. Here's the saber cav. It's tied up with some katana cavalry. And then Victor's using his general's bodyguard, actually pretty effective here. He's killing the Takeda katana cavalry. Sorry, that is a tongue twister. There are some Yari Ashigaru coming in to try and resupport, but this general can actually get quite a few kills. He'll run out of ammo eventually, but could get quite a few kills. You see it's definitely wrapping up here, so this match, like I said, is over. I mean, when you look at the amount of firepower brought by Tim here, that's a lot of firepower with pretty extreme range, 150 range. So the only way you can counter this in Classic is to bring bow warrior monks, and they won't have 200 range like they will in Avatar. So whenever someone brings this much firepower, I highly suggest that you have a lot more bows and ways to slow them down, because these units can reload pretty quick and they're pretty accurate. So in Classic, it's going to be even harder to face off against the Fall of the Samurai Army on open ground. You're definitely going to have to come up with an effective plan. And you can see that they brought a lot of spears in order to try and counter a cavalry or melee rush. So that's a pretty effective build on the part of Tim. Dario, on the other hand, his build was okay. He had quite a bit of melee. Had this player, or had Victor brought a lot of rifle troops, I think he could have easily leveled Dario. Because I don't think Dario's army was very well set up to counter heavy rifle troops. But that's not what happened, and as you can see, these are the results. So Victor, his troops are going to rout here, and this battle goes to CA. So good game to all the players involved. It was fun to watch, and hopefully you all enjoyed my commentary, even though I was tongue-twisted and probably missed a few things here and there. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. I'm going to head over to the results screen and we'll check that out too. So yeah, I'm going to try and play some matches against CA again today. I was kind of hoping Prussian Prince and I can try and settle the current tie between CA Will and CA Phil and I. I thought that'd be pretty fun because I think we're 1-1 with CA Will and CA Phil, so that would be a fun game. But if I don't get to play them, that's fine too. I understand there's a lot of people trying to play these games, and I'm just happy to try and be involved in some of what's going on. In case you all are wondering why CA is doing this, I've mentioned it in the title of my videos, but this is the release of the Shogun 2 Gold. It's kind of a celebration slash marketing event, I'm sure, here. So if you have not ever owned Shogun 2 and you want it, Shogun 2 Gold is a great way to buy it because it all comes in one package, and you wouldn't have to worry probably about DLCs or all the expansions and stuff like that. I'm sure it comes with everything all in one package. Of course, I could be wrong. I haven't looked since I already own the game, but I'm assuming that's what it is. I think it just released in Europe as well. So let's take a look at the results there. So that's interesting to see a classic battle where you mix Fall of the Samurai and regular Shogun 2. I feel very comfortable going against Fall of the Samurai armies in Avatar with my original Shogun 2 armies, but in Classic, that's a different story. That's tough because you can't get 200 range bows, and the upgrades are completely different. I'm not saying it can't be done, I just haven't spent the time to figure out how it should be done. But as you saw there, the sheer firepower of the rifle troops that was brought by C.A. Tim and his Tosa army just absolutely leveled Dave the Brave. So you definitely have to have your army built in such a way. So you can't bring Naginata attendants in Classic either unless you bring a Rise of the Samurai faction, and I really wouldn't want to bring a Rise of the Samurai against a Fall of the Samurai faction. But in any case, there's the results. You can see that Dario and Tim got a lot of kills there, and this was a large funds battle, obviously, because there's a ton of troops that were fielded, and you can kind of just see the results there. So, good game to all involved. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back with